I caught that part, yeah. Alaikum salam.
I'm very afraid of shirk. In my mind, I am always
Afraid of what?
shirk.
What? Shirk. And?
And in my mind, I am always saying to myself, I am making shirk. What should I do?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Don't listen to your mind when it tells you that it's making a shirk. You are giving shahadat, you are trying to do good, you're praying a little bit here and there. You cannot judge yourself. If there is anyone who's going to judge you, whether you're making a shirk or not, if you have a master, you have a Shaykh, he may speak to you about those things privately according to you. But in my experience, Shaykh Efendi never pulled me or anyone aside to say you're making a shirk. Yes? Only Wahhabis, they do that. If you want, go to Wahhabi Shaykh, you'll be very happy because it agrees with your shaitan inside saying you're making a shirk. So, you don't, this is the age of everyone is doing everything by themselves, self-diagnose. They do that with medicine, they do that with spirituality. Even according to the laws of Islam, according to Sharia, it is very difficult to prove, especially in the Hanafi way, that someone is making a shirk. Unless the person openly leaves Islam and starts worshipping to something, that time he's making. Otherwise, person can be making mistakes, can be making heavy, wrong things, but a shirk, it is very different. And there are many conditions to fulfill according to matters of Sharia for the court to decide that you are. So we should not be saying those things to ourselves, inshallah. I know what you're trying to say. But like I said, you're saying shahadat. So your intention is there. And your actions are there. You're trying to do good. If you're afraid of making a hidden shirk, not an open shirk, a hidden shirk. What is shirk? Shirk, it is to have a partnership to Allah. To say, I worship Allah, and then there's another one that I'm also worshipping. Or another one, or another one, or another one. That is open. I don't think you're doing that. I don't think you're saying, I'm worshiping to Allah, now I'm going to worship to this one, or this one, or this one. No. Now, if you want to get rid of the hidden shirk, because openly you are worshipping to Allah, and you say, I want to get rid of bad characteristics that I have, I want to tame and I want to step on my ego, because the ego does not worship Allah. The ego declares itself a Lord, and the ego, everyone's ego desires that it be worshipped. Then it is your ego, it is not you. Then we can go somewhere. So if your mind is saying to you, you're making a shirk, you say, I'm not, my ego is. Now you know that your ego is doing those things. Still you have to go to a spiritual doctor to say, you're doing it this much, you're doing it like this, to avoid it you must do this. So many steps you have to take. That you have to go to a professional. You cannot do it by yourself. There's no such thing as taking one pill to get rid of that, or reciting one dua, you're going to get rid of that. No, because the ego, it is not leaving you for a split second, and it's going to stay with you until you are able to step on it properly under the guidance of a Shaykh. And even then, you come to the stage where it is not just about fighting your ego, it's about doing other things. It is not just about taming your ego, it is about how useful I can be, how my adab has to change, how much I have to worship, how much I have to help people. And doing all those things, it will help you to control your ego. So, if someone is telling you you're making a shirk, don't believe that person too. You are not going to believe a person if the person just tells you you have cancer, you have this, you have that disease. You're not going to believe. Even if you feel scared, you're not going to believe. Even if you kind of believe, you're going to go to a real doctor and say, do I really have it? My friend told me I have it. You're not going to stay like that. Same thing with these kinds of spiritual situations. But the problem is today people don't believe in holy people. That is the problem. They don't believe in spiritual people. They don't believe in doctors of the heart. They believe in doctors of books. They believe in scholars that majority, they are not holding on properly, either to the way of the Holy Prophet ﷺ or the way of the awliya Allah. Those that are proper, those who are good, you find one big wrong here, big wrong there. But if you are trying to find guidance, you cannot rely on them. Knowledge, you may rely. Knowledge, you may rely. But guidance, what is guidance? So that you are not going to enter into the hell. Guidance, someone can guide you that you are going to find your way to be on the road reaching to paradise, reaching to Allah. Guidance, someone who is going to tell you it is not the road that you are on that is the problem. It is how you are traveling on the road. If you are traveling on the road of the Prophet ﷺ, but you're making 1,000 detours, saying, I can always come back, you'll never reach anywhere. So it is not, again, the knowledge of your Islam. It is who you are carrying that knowledge. Who are you? You understanding your spirit? Are you understanding your ego? So, knowing yourself, it may seem like it is the highest level of knowledge, but it is also the most important, the most fundamental to know yourself. If you have knowledge without knowing yourself, you have knowledge, but you don't know that you can be a very destructive and angry person. That all the tricks and traps of your ego, you will fall. With that knowledge and with that fall, you will suffer even more and you bring people even more into trouble. So we get into trouble these days because we're speaking like this about scholars and external knowledge people. We get accused, they say they don't like knowledge. Bruh, you want to be idiot? Continue being idiot. I'm not saying that. I'm saying now more than knowledge, you need people that can give us guidance. There is a lot of ilm already. In the old days, you have to travel so far just to hear one hadith. Yes? Years sometimes, just to hear one hadith. These days, with one click like this, you can have all 6 books. So, it is not the ilm. It is what? Guidance. What is guidance? Huh? Hidayat. So, hidayat, you have to be with people who have that guidance, inshallah. May Allah make us to stay with them. Don't claim that you are Ahli Hidayat. Don't claim that. I'm not claiming, you should not claim. But we may say we are following those ones who have the hidayat. And we are trying to hold on. We are, like what the khutbah is saying, our Shaykh Efendi is saying, our worship is not fitting to the divine presence. Never think that our whatever that we are doing for our Shaykh or for our Prophet ﷺ is fitting to their presence, holy presence. You do that, you will always improve, you will always become better. When you say, I did something, then that time, Shaitan already put one hook in there. We are believers, we should be between the hope and the fear. If you don't have the fear, you only have the hope, Shaitan will bring you to a disaster. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum.